Ahoy, mateys. That sounds kind of cliche around here, doesn't it? I mean, we always say that. Ahoy. Welcome aboard. It's been quite a long day, and I'm very much, and I'll talk about it soon. By the way, thank you, Ford Man, for sharing this out. I saw that on my phone a minute ago. Anyway, thinking that starting next Wednesday, I think we're going to change things up a little bit. I think we're going to go on earlier. In fact, I'm thinking even as early as 6 p.m. Let me know what you think. By the way, if you are watching the replay here, thank you for coming aboard. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up if you would. Appreciate it. And of course, if you want to share me out, see if anyone else wants to join us. We have good times on our live streams. Wednesday night is the Cliche night. Why do we say it night? We'll be doing that for a while. Although I believe that changing the time is best for me, perhaps best for others, because there are live streams that are happening right now. It's hard to watch all of them, especially for me. But Land Cloud Adventures is live right now. I just left there. And I forget somebody else is going live here shortly. And yeah, it can get a little crazy. But yeah, that's how it is. As far as going on earlier next week, Wednesday, I get tired. I'm tired right now at this time of night. I get pretty doggone tired. And I think it would be better if I was a little more awake. Number two, I think maybe we can spice things up a little bit. I'm trying to come up with ideas for a giveaway on Wednesday nights. Just something small, something easy, something simple. Todd, I'm feeling very well. I'm tired, but hey, what's to be expected? I've been going kicking butt since 8 o'clock this morning. So yeah, I'm tired. Shade tree projects. When I pan in 30 frames per second, it's jittery. Okay. Yeah. Well, shade tree, it's been, why do I keep thinking I know exactly who you are? Anyway, it's been all day. I've been trying to, first of all, I went to work and nobody was there. The garage was locked. I couldn't get into it to get the line trimmer. Oddly enough, one of my friends, neighbors, Scott, he was there and he was waiting for him. He finally got a hold of him on the phone. And I said, well, I've waited long enough. I'm going to go back home. I got some projects. Well, yeah, such are the plans of mice and men, right? Anyway, on the way home, I saw the people I was waiting for. They were in the sewer truck. They were on their way to a job. They blew horn, waved, blah, blah, blah. So, anyways, Holly is still in the hospital, not doing so hot. And we're not sure what they've got her on the nebulizer 8 times a day now, rather than, I think she was doing 4. She says she's going to have to do rehab. She's thinking she's not going to be coming home, but we just don't know. She's not in the best of spirits. I tried to talk to her, tried to tell her what was going on, and she didn't care. She just did not care. So, thank you for it, man. Yeah, I think 6 p.m. next Wednesday would be best. Shade trees, bolt cutters, yes. I have some bolt cutters too. I need to sharpen them though. They kind of let me down here a while back. I had a lock to cut for Sonia at her storage unit down in Hastings, and I couldn't, they wouldn't cut. They wouldn't cut at all. They made a little tiny dent, but not even. And it wasn't one of those expensive locks either. It was just a normal master padlock. Those are usually just simple. I didn't have my wheel with me, or I would have cut through it. But well. So, yeah, that's the story on Holly. She's not doing so hot. I'm okay. I got a retest on Sunday to see if I'm still positive. But I have no symptoms, no nothing. Everything's fine. My appetite's great. In fact, I just got done eating supper. No problems, no throwing it back up or nothing like that. No headaches, everything's good. All right, back to my projects. So I came home, I was going to do projects. Now, Don found a vehicle up in Mount Pleasant. That's 150 miles from here. So, all right, so unloaded the tractor, got everything ranged and this and that and this and that, and had to take him to his bank, and then we've had finally get a hold of the people to say, hey, we're on our way, this and that, this and that. And then we got in a traffic jam, believe it or not even 10 miles away in Cedar Springs. We don't know why. We don't know if there was an accident somewhere on 17 Mile, but we got caught. We finally were able to turn into the Myers parking lot, and I said, well, we'll just go out the back way. By this time, the people in Mount Pleasant had called, or not called, but texted, said they weren't going to be home tonight. So guess what? No sense driving 150 miles for no reason. But couldn't even get out of the Myers parking lot the back way because it was all clogged up with traffic. So that was a little frustrating. Got home, actually started doing a little bit on the projects, and Don's niece shows up, and she's got to have, I don't know, 3 or 4 tires changed. And Don does it the hard way with screwdrivers, and yeah. And she had to have her headlight fixed, and it all had to be done right now. So he was using the power. I didn't get to use the power. I did get to use it some. But I finally got to the point where I'm too tired. Just at 8 o'clock, I bagged it all up, and I hope he's put tools away because we're supposed to get rain tonight and tomorrow. However, it's supposed to get a little cooler tonight. So I've turned the air conditioner off. There's no sense running it tonight. The fans are off, TV's off, been off. The oxygen generator, of course, is off, and it's like I can hear a clock ticking, a battery clock tick. That's it. I don't hear anything other than me talking. It's kind of weird. Oh, got a new subscriber, Ringo and Czar. Welcome aboard if you're here. Thank you. When YouTube tells you got a new subscriber, unless they made a comment on one of my videos, I can't say thank you. So I'm hoping that they're here in person and they hear me saying thank you. Fantastic. That is great. And I got to go to their channel because I don't think I have them. I probably do. Where is my ink pen? Great. That's probably one thing I forgot to bring in with me. Is an ink pen. Oh, I have a marker. Okay. Ringo and Czar. And Czar. I've seen their stuff. I know I have. And I've seen them on other channels as well, other live streams. So cool. Rosebud's Travels. All right. Weather updates. Okay, so yeah, I finally did a little bit, not a lot. I'm trying to work on that table that broke. And I did one board on my Ferris wheel and ta-da-da-da. A non-content channel. Okay, Ringo and Czar. Hey, we love our NNs, as we call them. Bob, Blue Wave Odyssey, created that terminology 2.5 years ago. We have CCs, which are content creators. And then we have NNs, which are non-content creators, but they're here. They're supporting all of us, which is fantastic. And they are, just because you don't have any content, that doesn't mean that'll always be the way. and you have every right and privilege here on YouTube with the rest of us. I don't myself personally. I don't do join up club this or that. I'm only a member of one club, and I don't know if I'm going to hang on to that or not. I'm just not one to join clubs so much. I do support other channels as best I possibly can, and now and then I'll throw in a super chat or something like that, But as far as monthly membership, no, I'm not asking for any, and I don't expect to do too many myself as far as other people's. Other people say, well, where's your PayPal account? Where's this? Where's that? I'm not worried about it. I just enjoy doing YouTube. And I think to kind of make it so it stays fun, don't make it an obligation. Now, that doesn't mean I don't feel obligated from time to time. Like, oh, I gotta make a video. Ringo and Czar and Todd Johnson and Linda Barker, they're wondering what am I up to? What am I doing? So I kind of owe them a video a day to keep them updated. Otherwise, my phone, my Facebook will be going off the hook. My phone will be going off the hook. What's wrong? What's wrong? Are you okay? So now that doesn't feel like an obligation to me. Not at all. That's friendship and community. And Ringo and Zara, I would almost assume that you already know this community rocks. We've got the RV community, we got the homesteaders, we got the coin stackers, the metal detector people, scrappers like Miss Canadian Scrapper and other scrappers like myself, scrapping metal. And then you got talking heads like me. Yeah, well, as Gary Hartline, whatever, what I'm talking about. Daydream about nice things. He said you never know what you're going to get from Captain Jack. True. That's true. Field Guy 316 is live. You're subscribed to 985 channels. Yep. I hear you, Linda. I am, I think I'm 978. Something like that. I've had to actually pare it down a little bit. I was like, okay, I really have not watched that particular channel. We had those days where subscribe, blah, 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 tit for tat, so to speak, sub for sub. And, that didn't last very long, thankfully. But every now and then they do pop up. All of a sudden, I'll sub to you if you sub to me. Yeah, well, I'd rather you make a comment on my video, and if you like my video, then go ahead and subscribe to me. Or give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down. Criticize me. I'm good. And I'll do the same when I go to another channel. And usually, if I don't particularly care for their content, I'll give it a chance. I'll watch 2 or 3 things that they have in their queue. But if I don't really care for it, chances are I'm not going to be watching. There's a lot of, it seems like there's a lot of people that do Disney stuff. And I'm like, I'll never go to Disneyland. That's a fat chance in hell, snowball's chance in hell that I'll ever go to Disneyland. That's just way beyond my budget ideas. And I don't mind watching Nomadic Hippie. I think he's got an inroad. I don't think he pays as much as normal person does. But I like Nomadic Hippie's style. And he's got Jan Vargas, and he's got a few other people. And he kind of knows his way around, and he really puts out good production. Now, that's not to say that EAD and there's some other channels that do Disney stuff almost exclusively. I'm sure they live in Orlando or close by. They're always doing Disney stuff. And you know what? I get sick of it. Not that they're not doing a good job. They do. But after a while, I'm just like, Well, I don't want to see anything Disney. You know, maybe it's because I got disheartened. Linda, you're going to love this. And if Tina's here, she's going to laugh her ass off. But I was going to get a costume, the Prince Charming. I was going to wear it to Tina's campsite, surprise her. Well, then I found out that Prince Charming's been divorced 3 times. He's a narcissistic asshole. First off, he wooed and charmed Cinderella. And the next thing you know, Cinderella's getting divorced from him because he's running around with Snow White. And Snow White got rid of him because, I don't know, Ariel or, I don't know, some other chick, and then all that, and they lived happily ever after. It's just bullshit. That didn't happen. So I thought, okay, enough of Prince Charming. He's a jerk. That will not impress Tina whatsoever. So I thought, she needs a knight in shining armor. Well, then I looked up, the actual facts about the knight in shining armor, and it's like, dude, if your armor is shining, that means you're not doing your job. You're not out there fighting and slaying dragons and, rescuing damsels in distress. If you're really doing all that and you're so brave and valiant, your armor would be dented and dirty, not shiny. So guess what? I can't find any dirty armor to wear. I think I'll just go as myself. She'd probably appreciate that more anyway. Yep. All right. Now I know Linda's getting tired of this. We got about 45 minutes. We're going to get through as many B's in this book. We are on the letter B. This is an alphabetical book. It goes, the sayings and the cliches go by alphabet. Now, last week, we left off with, was it beer and Skittles? No. Behind the 8 ball. We left off with behind the 8 ball. And I think everybody can remember what that was. Go as Peter Pan. Can't you just see me with those wings? And little green shoes pointed. Green leotards. Tina would run. Captain Hook. I can't go as Captain Hook because Captain Hook lives 2 doors down from me. I haven't met him yet, but that's what his license plate says, Captain Hook. I knew a towing company in Ada. The towing company was Captain Hook. Hook up to your car, whatever. Thought that was kind of cool. Painting video with no jitter, no flutter, no judder. Good. All right. So our next B word is Belfry. I know you're going to say, yeah, you got bats in yours. And I might have. Time to change the background. Oh, let's see. Let's try this one. We haven't tried this one in a while. My self-portrait. Yeah, right. Now, why am I froze up? Come on. What is the deal here? I don't know why it's freezing up. All right, finally. I don't know why it froze up. I was giggling uncontrollably because of what Todd said. I got to think about that. Peter Pan. Captain Shade Tree. There we go. That was definitely Shade Tree around here today with Dom doing his thing, changing tires from rim to rim by hand. No special equipment other than a screwdriver, couple screwdrivers, and a hammer. And usually he uses his pocket knife to clean up the rim. I'm like, dude, I got a wire brush. Well, I don't want no hand wire brush. I said, I got one that's a wheel on a drill. Well, okay. I mean, he spent an hour scraping a rim, getting it nice and shiny, using his pocket knife. I said, you could probably save 59 minutes by using the wire brush. So he finally does. He just has no concept of time. Meanwhile, the people that are waiting on him to get it done, they're like, you said this will only take a couple minutes. It's been 4 hours. Whatever. Okay, here we are, Belfry. Go get the phone, Cliche. Captain Giggles Capper, that's a good one too. Does the word belfry come from the bells usually hung there? No. Belfry was originally the name of a military tower erected near the walls of a besieged city by the attackers, not by the defenders, by besieged city. Now it's the attackers that are erecting this structure called a belfry. And it was so they could more easily throw their spears and shoot their arrows at the defenders. And a church steeple resembles these towers. But quite possibly the pun was appreciated by the first persons to call a steeple a belfry. The pun. What pun? They didn't tell us a pun. They just said belfry. What pun? I don't know. Maybe we should rewrite this whole book. Taking the glasses off. Them's fighting words. Okay. Yeah. Sorry about that. I should not have eaten supper, but I did. Now I look at steeples, and there seems to be other history. Well, a lot of people say a steeple and other structures from older days, whether they be obelisks or towers of some sort, monuments, they were considered phallic in origin or in concept, perhaps. Yeah, because the phallic represents fertility in a manner of speaking. So anyway, who knows? God does. All right, we are moving on to Bell, Book, and Candle. What is the origin of the expression by Bell, Book, and Candle? I actually knew this one. The expression is an allusion to a ceremony of excommunication introduced into the Catholic Church in the 8th century. After reading the sentence of excommunication, a bell is rung, a book is closed, and a candle extinguished. From that moment, the excommunicated person is excluded from the sacraments and even divine worship. So by bell, book, and candle means you're out of here, dude. That's interesting. All right, belladonna. How did the plant belladonna get this name? I didn't know there was a plant named belladonna. I thought a belladonna was somebody that's, I'm so like Elmer Fudd. I'm too sexy for my clothes. I'm too sexy for my clothes. Wouldn't you call that a belladonna type of attitude? Okay, let's find out. I don't know. The plant got this name because ladies once used to enlarge the pupils of their eyes. Once used the extract to enlarge the pupils of their eyes and so make them beautiful. Belladonna is Italian for beautiful lady. Well, I guess that excludes Elmer Fudd, now doesn't it? What about Peter Pan? Yeah, right. Belladonna. I'm definitely going to have to. Wonder if I go into the local plant store and say, I want to look at your belladonnas, what they would say. They'd probably go in the bag and get the pretty secretary to come out. Belladonna. Okay, right. Bellhop. Okay, I'm used to what a bellhop is. It's, you ring the bell at the motel or hotel, and here comes this guy, and he takes your luggage up to your room. Shoot, I wasn't going to stay, but I wanted to stop at the casino today. Well, that ain't going to happen. It ain't going to happen tomorrow either. Yeah, I might get slapped. But I've stayed there before, and sure enough, I bring my luggage in, I'm getting checked into the room, and all of a sudden, ding, ding, and here comes the guy, and he's got a little cart, and he puts my luggage on the cart, and off we go to my room, and he puts my luggage in the room. I don't have to touch it. Pretty cool. And then you throw them 3 or 4 bucks. Okay, bellhop. Why is a hotel porter called a bellhop? Because the desk clerk has a little bell on the counter. When he wishes a boy, he rings the bell, and the boy hops up to see what is wanted. Now, wouldn't you think that somebody called a boy the bellhop, a boy these days, that there might be a fist fight coming up? Don't call me boy. Ring the bell, and the bellhop hops too. Yes, that's true. That's exactly what it says. The boy hops up to see what is wanted. All right, a bender. How did a heavy drinking spree come to be called a bender? We'll see. I didn't read it. I'm thinking bending the elbow. Well, if you're left-handed, okay. Now it's making me thirsty. Yeah, Dr. Pepper tonight. I got 1 can of RC Cola left. I'm kind of saving it. I need something different. So Holly had some Dr. Peppers in there, and that's what I'm drinking. I will replace them. Don't worry. It's because a drinker bends his elbow every time he picks up his glass to take a drink. Well, that was an easy one. Moving on. Benefit of clergy. What is the origin of the expression benefit of clergy? Or clergy. I don't know if that's how it's pronounced. But. Okay, benefit of clergy. Let's go with clergy. The clergy was once allowed the privilege of exemption from trial by a secular court when arraigned for a felony. And so they went free. That sounds like getting away with murder. This was the original benefit of clergy. Later, this privilege was extended to any first offender who, like the clergy, could read. The test for this ability was the first verse of the 51st Psalm. And so, since the ability to read it could save a man's neck, the verse was called the neck verse. Benefit of clergy. Now we've moved on to the neck verse. And it seems like they kind of combined a couple things here, but well, it was educational. Good thing I can't read. Wait, you don't get an exemption for that. What if I'm an ordained, whatever they call them? Confirmed blooming idiot. A Benny. How did a Coke come to be called a Benny? Well, I thought a Benny was a pill. You've been on a couple benders. Me too. More than a couple. All right. A coat becomes called a benny. In England, a common greatcoat has long been called a Joseph, in allusion to the coat of many colors worn by Joseph of the Bible. All right. When a more stylish coat was devised by a London tailor named Benjamin, it was called after him a Benjamin. From this we get Benny and Fur Benny. Is this English humor? I don't get it. Benny and Fur Benny. What about Benny Hill? Come on. And if you're lucky, late at night watching Benny Hill, sometimes the girls go topless. Usually don't have much up there, but they're going topless. All right. Beside himself. Why do we describe a distraught person as being beside himself? Didn't we do this one already? The ancients believed that soul and body could part and that under great emotional stress, the soul would actually leave the body. We haven't done this one. When this happened, a person was beside himself. Okay, I would agree with that. The same thought is to be found in out of his mind and in ecstasy. Ecstasy is from the Greek and literally means to stand out of. Now, see, I would have thought ecstasy was like having an orgasm or something. Oh, man, but that's not what it means. Literally means to stand out of. In other words, just out of your mind, so to speak. Yeah, that's even what it says here. Huh. I probably won't remember it, but we learned something. 20 questions plus 481 travel trivia. That sounds fun. All right. Bias. B-I-A-S. Bias. How did the word bias come to mean crooked? Well, now I look at the word bias like if you're biased. For instance, I'm biased towards, I don't know, Home Depot because I own stock in it. I mean, that's kind of a stupid example. No, I don't own stock in anything. Okay, bias. How did it come to mean crooked? In bowling, a weight was once placed within the ball to make it deviate from a straight line. This is called the bias. Never heard of that. So anything today which tends to make a person deviate from accepted thought or behavior is called a bias. Now, wait a minute. If somebody put a weight in my bowling ball, it would almost seem to me that would be tampering or illegal or what? Okay. I'm kind of biased about that. Bigwig. Why do we call an important person a bigwig? Well, that seems like it should be kind of obvious. In Great Britain, it was long custom for all men of importance to wear special wigs. Indeed, British jurists and lawyers still wear them. That's true. So a person of importance had a big wig and was called one. I think they've been called other things too. Okay, Billingscape. What is the origin of the term Billingscape? Well, wasn't that Bill Gates with his going through his divorce and wives getting divorced? And no. Billingscape. What is the origin of the term Billingscape? The firm of Ludd and Billings, that's a weird one, built a gate in the wall around the city of London that soon came to be called Billingsgate. The London fish market was established nearby, and since the fishmongers there were noted for their loud and vulgar language, Billingsgate came to mean coarse, abusive talk. Well, no, I didn't know that's what it was leading up to. Billingscape is coarse, abusive talk. So when Linda and I are exchanging words of fun, we're Billingscape. See if we can remember that one. Crazy. All right. Bitter end. Where does the bitter of the expression to the bitter end come from? So, to me, the bitter end would be very sad, very, in a way, angry. Kind of like having a fight and I don't know, the bitter end. Roy and Becky, welcome aboard. Bitter end. Where does the bitter of the expression to the bitter end come from? Comes from the timber to which the anchor rope or chain of early sailing ships was fastened. It was called the bit. And when the anchor was let out as far as the line or chain could go, it was played out to the bitter end. Okay. So now we know. The bitter end has to do with an anchor at the end of its rope, so to speak. Huh. I like that, kind of. Right, Black Maria. What is the reason a patrol wagon is called a Black Maria? It is? Anybody else heard this before? A patrol wagon is called a Black Maria. All right, the patrol wagon, what would that be? A Dodge Magnum? It's kind of a station wagon hot rod that the state police use. Yeah, I should have known that, right? Yeah. The Billingscape or the bitter end. Yeah, you're right. I should have known that. You're right, Linda. All right, Black Maria. What's the reason a patrol wagon is called a Black Maria? The patrol wagon is supposed to have been given this name in honor of one Marie or Maria Lee, a negress of great size and strength who ran a sailor's boarding house in Boston. The unruly stood in dread of her, and when the constables required help, it was a common thing to send for Black Maria, who soon collared the culprits and led them to the lockup. Ha! Her name was Bertha. Never mind. Right. All right, blackout. How did we get the term blackout? The expression was originally used in the theater, where it was applied to the extinguishing of all lights on stage while the scenery was being shifted. This makes sense. Then in 1939, the British applied it to the precautionary measures they adopted to avoid revealing strategic targets for bombing to the enemy German aircraft. That makes sense. Blackout means, hide, so to speak. So, yeah, that one makes sense to me. And it makes sense that it was established in a theater as well. All right, black sheep. What is the reason black sheep are considered worthless? What? I take offense to that. I'm biased towards black sheep. I resemble that remark. All right. The wool of black sheep cannot be dyed, and so does not bring as high a price as regular wool. And yet a black sheep, though its wool has less value, eats as much and takes as much time and care as any other. Therefore, it's hardly worth its keep. Wait till I tell my sister, you know what? You aren't worth your keep. All right, black ball. Why do we say that a person rejected for membership by a secret society has been blackballed? Now, I do know this. Because many secret societies still follow the practice of balloting by using black and white balls, and this is true, dropped into the ballot box. The white stands for acceptance, the black for rejection. This custom is very old. It was used by the ancient Greeks and Romans. Even our word ballot means a little ball. So too does the word bullet. That's interesting. Now, I do know that, and it's not a secret society, but it is a society. But the Masons, when they vote on things, they use the black ball ballot box, if you will. All right. Blackguard. How did the Blackguard get this name? I don't know. So we'll all learn something here. And it could be another B word, like bullshit. Blackguard. How did Blackguard get this name? When a noble household moved from one residence to another, the scullions and kitchen knaves traveled in the wagons with their pots and pans. Since these lowly menials were always ragged and usually extremely dirty, this portion of the train was jocularly called the Blackguards. Thievery was common among them, and they were generally unscrupulous. Thus, blackguard came to mean a villainous person. What about Maria? Never mind. Blade. What is the reason a gay young man about town is called a gay blade? Are we going to get kicked off of YouTube now? Hey, it's in this book. The Anglo-Saxon word for branch or sprig was blade, and the gay and foolish young man called a blade was usually the young son of a nobleman, in other words, a new sprig or blade of the family tree. See, now you thought I was talking about sexual preference. Nope. Blarney. Why are soft words and sweet words called Blarney? I don't know, ask Tina. In the castle of the little village of Blarney near Cork, there is an inscribed stone in a position that is difficult of access. Yeah, and there, I know this one. And there is a popular saying that anyone who kisses the Blarney stone will ever after possess a cajoling tongue. There is, too, a legend regarding the first to ply this art. In the year 1602, I remember this, Cormac McCarthy found he could no longer hold the castle of Blarney against the British and was forced to conclude an armistice by which he agreed to surrender the fort to them. But though the British emissary Carew received from McCarthy many soft words and sweet promises, but he never got the castle. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's why Tina's actions speak louder than words. Yeah. All right, we were not going to be kissing the Blarney Stone anytime soon, unless I go as Peter Pan. All right, blimp. How did the non-rigid balloon come to be called the blimp? Okay, well, I don't know. When England began experimenting with this type of airship in 1914, two designs were tested, the A-limp and the B-limp. The A-limp was unsuccessful. The B-limp was used and gave its name to all airships of this type. Okay, but where did we get limp from? They don't tell you that. They just say A-limp and B-limp and, well, slimp, climp, drimp, quit. I don't know. Sometimes this book lets me down. All right, Blind Alley. We got 15 minutes. Blind alley. Why is an alley closed off at one end called a blind alley? Well, that kind of makes kind of sense. A gate or opening in a wall was at one time called an eye. Okay? If there was no opening in the wall at the end of an alley, and so no eye, it was, of course, blind. That reminds me of something I learned not that long ago. You know, the story about easier to put the camel through the eye of a needle or something to that effect. Well, you know, well, I'm thinking of the little tiny part where you put the thread through a needle. You know, they're talking about the miracle of putting a camel through the eye of a. Meant that not at all. The needle was something other part of the castle, and the eye, of course, was an opening where the camels passed through. All right, mateys. Nothing new under the sun. Be limp equals blimp, I know. How did Jack Nicholson say it as the Joker in the original Batman movie? Boom, boom, boom. What this town needs is an enema. All right. Blind justice. I remember the Arlo Guthrie, Alice's Restaurant. In walks the judge with a seeing eye dog. And we all knew this was going to be another case of American blind justice. All right, here we go. Blind justice. How did justice come to be called blind? Justice is usually represented in Greek statues as wearing a blindfold and holding a pair of scales. Yes. Justice was blindfolded, so she could not see the bribes that were being offered to her. I did not know that. The Egyptians carried this idea even further. They conducted their trials in a darkened chamber so that the witnesses, the pleader, and the prisoner could not be seen by the judges. The Egyptians felt that this would result in an impartial decision with no misplaced sympathy, although this system must also have resulted in an occasional misplaced prisoner. Huh. Blind justice. Okay. Please just cool off. Short bus pull-up is live. And there is Corey and Lori. Ahoy. Welcome aboard. Looking forward to seeing you guys in, 6 weeks about? Yeah. Blind pig. Now, I do know what this one is. Naturally. Kind of goes along with speakeasy. And a bender, Todd. Blind pig. What is the origin of the name blind pig? Often applied to a speakeasy. Okay. In order to get around the Massachusetts statute of 1838, limiting the sale of hard liquor, an enterprising citizen of that commonwealth advertised that a marvelous striped pig was on view within a booth for a small fee. Well, having paid the fee, which was equal to the price of a glass of rum, the spectator found within the booth a clay pig with painted stripes and a glass of rum standing nearby. Blind is used in this term to indicate something hidden or secret. A blind pig, something hidden or secret. I like that. That's cute. Kind of. Blizzard. Who invented the word blizzard? Dairy Queen, right? Who invented the word blizzard? Yeah. And it's not Dairy Queen? All right. O.C. Bates, editor of the Northern Vindicator of Esterville, Iowa, coined, or at least popularized, the word blizzard in describing the snowstorm in Esterville on March 14, 1870. He may have had in mind the German word blitz, meaning lightning, or from a similar root, the English dialect prefix blitz, meaning something violent in action. And he later went on to found the company named Dairy Queen. No, he didn't. But hey, that's cool. Blizzard came from possibly German word blitz. I've seen thunder, snow, and lightning, and we're having a blizzard, and it's kind of a weird, amazing type of weather. It's not nice to fool Mother Nature. Bloomers. I don't have mine. They're in the bedroom. How did bloomers get their name? Mrs. Elizabeth Miller Smith really invented the bloomers, but Mrs. Amelia Yanks Bloomer did so much to popularize them, both by wearing them and writing about them, that her name was given to these garments. And I don't know either one of these ladies. You got to be a fashion guru to know this? Okay. Blow hot and cold. Why is the person who changes his mind said to blow hot and cold? Okay. When you blow with your mouth puckered up, your breath seems cold. When you do not blow as definitely, but leave the mouth flaccid, you blow hot. So when a person starts to say something and then stops, his mouth first puckers and then becomes flaccid, and he blows hot and cold. I just thought it was because I was full of hot air. Yeah, that's true. You'll never know what you're going to get. And, well, everybody knows why my eyes are brown. It has nothing to do with hereditary or DNA or nothing. That's because I'm full of shit. All right. Blowout. And my dad used to say, "Yes, sir." Blowout. How did a feast come to be called a blowout? I didn't know it was called that, but yeah, maybe. A feast is called a blowout because it swells the paunch. Okay. Another name for such a feast is a tuck-in, from the double meaning of putting in the food and then having to tuck in the paunch in order to be able to wear one's clothing. Makes sense to me. Been there, done that. Yeah, either way you blow. Ha! Good one, Linda. You blow. Blue blood. Why is a member of the aristocracy called a blue blood? Because the Spanish once had the notion that the veins in the skin of men and women of aristocratic families were bluer than those of other persons. Well, that's definitely horse shit. Although it is an interesting fact when you look at your veins, your veins are blue. Your blood is blue. Until you expose it to air, then it turns red. So we're all blue bloods. And I guess I'm a red-blooded American male, which makes me from Mars, I guess. I don't know. Okay. We got 5 more minutes. Blue book. So this is the UFO thing, or is this Kelly's used car prices? Blue book. What is the reason an official report of the British government is called a blue book? Well, I didn't know it had anything to do with the Brits, although should have known. It's because reports of the British Parliament and Privy Council are issued bound with a dark blue paper cover. A preliminary or less extensive report is issued without a cover and so it is called a white paper. I'll be darned. I've heard that and never thought about it. Like, who cares? You blow out your pants. That's true. You got it, Linda. The aristocrats have pale skin from avoiding the sun. Now, there's a thought. There's a thought. They couldn't handle vitamin D like I can. I got a compliment this morning from Freedom Dove. She thought it was pretty cool that I was out there working in the field and I'm supposed to be sick. And she said, it's good for you. That's darn right. Vitamin D is good for me. Well, this one we could have fun with, Linda. Oops, I'm skipping ahead. The next one after this one. Anyway, blue moon is the next one. Why do we use the expression once in a blue moon to mean very rarely? Well, it makes sense. Because the phrase originally meant never. And a blue moon was supposed never to occur. But moons of blue color have been seen after certain volcanic explosions and when Holly gets mad at Jack. And occasionally through smoke-laden fogs, and for this reason, perhaps the phrase now means rarely ever. That makes sense. Once in a blue moon. All right, Blue Peter. Ready? I don't know. Maybe it's that aristocrat with the blue blood. It hung like a horse. Blue Peter. Maybe it was cold. Blue Peter. How did hoist the Blue Peter come to mean getting ready to go? Oh boy. The expression is a seafaring one. How about that? I didn't know this. A ship about to leave port hoists a blue flag with a white square in the center, the code letter P, which is correctly called the blue repeater. This stands for the French word partir, Peter, whatever, meaning to depart. The flag was originally hoisted by a ship to recall seamen who had gone ashore and to give notice to a town that all with claims for money against the ship should come and make them before it departed. Blue Peter. Hoist the Blue Peter. Huh. I learned something. And we don't have any more time. We got 2 minutes, not even. Next Wednesday, we'll start out with Blue Ribbon. I'd say it's going to be about 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to come up with some kind of... Did I skip over blue balls? I'm looking. I don't see it. You tell us, Linda. Anyway. Next week, Wednesday, we're going to start at 6. I have spoken. And we're going to be doing Blue Nose or something. Anyway, this thing wants to fall down. And I better not bury my glasses or I won't be able to find them. I want to do something fun. Now, we do scratch-offs, of course, on Saturday night sometimes. And I'm thinking, maybe a Wheel of Fortune or, we usually got, 3 people in here, so we can have 3 names in my hat, shake it up and pick it out, see who wins a sticker. I don't know. No, more than a sticker. I'm actually thinking about doing a scratch-off as a prize. I don't know. You tell me. Tell me this Saturday what you think. Todd was going to ask the same thing. Blue balls. And a blue pen. All right now. Blue balls with a question mark. We know what the white balls and the black balls are. And we know what behind the 8-ball is. Blue balls. May have to look that one up. Google. Todd wants a sticker. Okay. Probably get one anyway. I mean, that's almost simple. I'm thinking about getting magnets that look like the stickers. Sticker Mule has a sale. I get like 50 of them magnets with my logo for $9. Hello? It's not a bad deal at all. We'll see. I haven't done it yet. I haven't pulled the trigger on that one. Kind of being a little bit conservative till at least the first of the month. Then I got to pay the M22 thing. I may have to pay for 2 of them. I still have the other 2 reserved. I have not heard from Cam from Chill. I was talking to Tina the other day. I said, just get it for you. And then I have the other one reserved, and that's going to be James. As far as I know, James Catanese is sticking to that. So that's his to worry about. We know what blue balls means. Okay. Big balls. Big blue balls if you're surfing Lake Michigan in November. Crazy. All right. I think that's it. It's 1 minute after 10. If I go much longer, I'll turn into a pumpkin. Okay, middies. Thank you for being aboard. And Tumbleweed RV Life. Hello, hello, hello. Watch the replay. We had some fun tonight. I got the giggles. I got to look into a Peter Pan outfit now. Just because Todd said to. A Peter Pan costume with blue balls. Big blue balls. Whatever. All right, mateys. Fair winds and smiles. And of course, may God bless. And the broadcast.